Hello, everybody. Welcome to the June Summer Camp Down the Hill Leaders Meeting for summer of 2022. Today, it is just Jacob and I on the meeting with you, as all of our other staff are in the full swing of staff week right now. We're both on site and all of our staff are getting prepared for your arrival with us. That means they're doing training sessions, they're prepping their merit badges, they're getting their program areas ready. They are getting hyped to see you this summer. So you get Jacob and I, while the rest of the staff get prepared to see you on Sunday, or whichever Sunday that you'll be joining us in the next couple weeks. So I am Bijan. I am one of two assistant camp directors this summer, and with me is Jacob.
And I am Jacob. I am one of the other two assistant camp directors this summer. So on tonight's topics, we are going to be talking about all sorts of things. On there, it says notes on notes, merit badges, and theme days, and we will get into all of those a little bit deeper in.
Alrighty, so some of the first set of notes we have for you, and this meeting is going to be a little bit repetition, but the things that we think need to be repeated for you to be able to hear. We also want to give you that space to answer any questions that you may have, but we're going to cover some notes, and most of these don't have their own category, so I just called this notes. First is bikes in camp. Lost Valley is a very large place, and we have dirt roads that lead to most of our program areas. We encourage you and your scouts to bring their bikes to camp. If you would like to bring your bikes, you will want to find some way to get them into camp. Some people bring a bike trailer, some people put them at the back of a truck bed, whatever works for you. This summer, we will probably not have any bikes for rent, and we will not have the ability to help you fix your bikes this summer. So we encourage you to bring things like spare tires or a bike pump or a tool set that you may use to adjust some things on the bike. For dietary restrictions, if you have not already entered them into your online registration system software called Blackpug or scoutingevent.com, or a couple different names, however you registered for camp, that's the place that we would like you to put in your dietary restrictions. That allows the whole team to be able to see them and for us to get them to the place that they need to go so that we can provide those meals for you. If you have already entered them in Blackpug, you don't need to email us and tell us. If you haven't, go ahead and do both, as we've already pulled them for our first week of camp, but we'll recheck them for the other weeks of camp. Evening programs. We have so many evening programs to offer you this summer at Lost Valley, and the list of evening programs is now posted on our website, ssrlv.org, and under summer camp and leader links, you will see evening program. The evening program schedule has a list of what merit badges are offered, which evening programs are offered at which days. It also lets you know which ones have a cost and which ones require a sign up. For the evening programs that require a sign up, you will do that in the trading post during your week of camp. You will also pay for evening programs in the trading post during your week of camp. When you get into camp, we will let your leaders and your SPLs know how signups work and when signups will start, but we encourage you to start talking with your unit and your patrols and figure out which ones your scouts want to do individually or together. Introduction to Outdoor Leadership Skills Training is something that we offer for our adults. It is a most of the week program for several hours a day. It is one of the required Assistant Scoutmaster and Scoutmaster trainings for scouting. If you are in need of that program, we do offer it during the summer. You can sign up for that at camp. We'll let you know how to do that. There will be a small cost associated because there are food meals that need to be cooked as part of IOLS. But it is a great opportunity for your adult leaders that are coming to camp to have something to do and to get trained along the way. Like I had said previously, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A feature at the bottom. And when we are done, we'll come back to your questions. If you put them in the chat, it's easy for us to lose them and not be able to answer them as well. So put them in Q&A and we'll get back to them. Jacob is going to continue talking about notes.
Okay, hi everybody. So I've already seen quite a few questions in the Q&A about our trading post, specifically payment methods. So I'm happy to announce that our trading post, in addition to accepting cash, will accept credit cards and debit cards. And this includes options like tap to pay, whether that's on a phone or a smartwatch or anything like that. In addition to that, we will also be offering program tickets there. So program fees that have not yet been paid, for example, things like additional ammunition and other programs like that. Those fees can be paid at the trading post. And for scouts that are shooting in free time, that is where they'll be purchasing their ammunition tickets. In terms of evening programs, signups will be at the trading post. We have, as Bijan mentioned, a variety of evening programs this year, and some of them are limited on space, some of them aren't. But the trading post will have all of those options to sign up. The few of them that do have fees associated with them, the fees will be able to be paid there when sign up occurs. Now, a couple reminders about clothing at camp. In general, the weather has been pretty fair. It has not been incredibly hot during the days, but we have gotten into the low 90s a few of the days up here of the last 2 weeks. So we obviously recommend shorts, t-shirts, plenty of sunscreen, stuff like that. But there are a few areas we have in camp that require additional uniforming. For example, for ATVs, we require long sleeve shirts and pants for those programs. So what that looks like is whether it's jeans, long scout pants, any sort of long pants that fit well as a long sleeve shirt. ATV program also requires a safety waiver. Those are available under the leader links section on ssrlv.org if those need to be filled out. Dirty Jobs also has a program requirement requiring long pants as well. The advice from our Dirty Jobs director, who is a very experienced welder, metal worker, and like handyman in general, he recommends cotton pants, such as some of those Cotton Scout pants or denim-based pants, like jeans and things like that. But the requirement is just long pants, but we do recommend those jeans if they have them.
Thanks, Jacob. Now it is time for merit badge notes. Please, before you come, print out your Black Pug reports. There are several different reports enabled in Black Pug. Some of those include individual scout printouts of what merit badges they're taking, along with their prerequisites and the periods and the times. Some of them are designed for the unit leader that has a list of all their scouts and merit badges and times so that your unit leader can keep track of it. And then some of the other reports are as needed or as wanted. We encourage you to print them out ahead of time or at least have them available to your scouts because a couple of things have changed. About 2 weeks ago, we changed some merit badge prerequisites. We removed a couple and we added just a few to enable your scouts to have the best experience they can at camp. There were some that were a little bit out to date and some that we now can offer in camp, so they don't need to be prerequisites. So we encourage you to take a look at that. On our website, under leader links, you will find the most current version of our merit badges being offered each week. That sheet also has the prerequisites, but it's in Black Pug if you want to generate the report of each scout's required prerequisites. Please use a prerequisite sign-off sheet of some kind. If your troop has one that you can use, that works. On our website under leader links, there is a Lost Valley one, or if you print the Black Pug report with the scout's name on it and their merit badge classes, at the bottom, there's a section for a unit leader signature. We need the name of the scout, the merit badge, the requirements completed, and a unit signature for that prerequisite sheet so that they can get a complete in camp. If they do not come with their prerequisites complete and they're not able to do them in camp, which they likely won't be able to, they will go home with a partial blue card. Just wanted to let you know and give everyone a heads up about that. For week 5, if you are in our week 5, we have changed a couple merit badge classes around. Your scouts that were signed up for classes are still in the same classes they were signed up for, just some of them are in a different session. We had to close a few sessions due to numbers and staffing. So we rearranged a couple schedules to keep everybody in the things that they wanted to do, but had to move some things around. If you want to switch classes while at camp, if your scouts get to camp and decide, I actually don't want to do that and they want to go into something else, that is doable. You will come talk to one of us on the team and we'll help you get that change made, preferably before the first day of classes, but you can change pretty much at any time. You'll just miss some of the requirements of the class that you switch into. Some of our classes do have capacity limits, and most of them are hard capacity limits, such as ATV only has so many scouts we can put through that program. Blue cards or not, you choose. This summer, as with last summer, we're doing virtual advancement through Blackbug. So all of your advancement that is done at camp will be marked in Blackbug. And after camp, give us about a week or 2 weeks, you will be able to generate blue cards that you can either email to your advancement coordinator or you can print them if you would like. This limits the amount of paper that we need in camp and helps us stay more organized than physical blue cards. If you choose to bring physical blue cards, we are happy to accept them. We will sign them and we will give them back to you on Friday before you leave, but you do not have to bring them. We're tracking advancement online and your scouts will get that recorded. Merit badge fees. If the merit badge that your scout has signed up for has a fee associated with it, such as shotgun shooting or leather work or metal working, those can be paid ahead of time in Blackbug. Those fees, as soon as your scout is added into the class, the fee is attached to your unit's account and billed to your unit. So you will be able to pay that ahead of time. If any switches happen at camp, we'll make those changes in Blackbug, and then your unit and our registrar will be able to help settle that after camp. We are not requiring payments for merit badges in the trading post this summer. That's all being done online. And lastly is program supplies. Because payments are being handled online, all of the program kits, the leatherworking kit, the welding kit, the basketry kits are all going to be given to your scouts in the classes. They don't need to go to the trading post and present proof of payment or pick them up or take them anywhere. They're already going to be in the class for your scouts.
This as well. So great questions from everybody. But our theme days this year, the first one is More Sleep Monday. So that's pajamas. Now, I would make the caveat that I would not wear the pajamas that the scouts actually wear to bed for the assembly in the morning, because as it will be dirty and dusty and you don't want to make your bedtime clothes like that. But More Sleep Monday is our kind of pajama day. Tuesday is To the Nines Tuesday, which we describe as formal wear, dressing up fancy. I have a tie that I love that I'm going to be wearing. So To the Nines Tuesday is just fancy wear. We see lots of top hats on that day too. Wednesday is going to be Wacky Hat Wednesday. So any wacky hats the kids have, as long as they're scouting appropriate, we love to see. Our staff have some very wacky hats. So hopefully you all will too. And then Thursday will be Tie-Dye Thursday. And that is pretty self-explanatory, just tie-dye clothing. And Friday is Flashback Friday. So if you have been to camp before and have an old Lost Valley t-shirt, we would love to see it. Our staff will be wearing old staff t-shirts from previous years on summers, or previous summers here at camp. And then Western wear will be Friday evening, where our staff dress up in Western wear for our evening assembly into our carnival and stage show.
All right, we're getting close to the end. We have a couple more things to cover. If you have questions about anything we talked about, please put them in the Q&A and we'll answer them. Some of the questions already there are really good questions, so we're not typing a response just yet, so we can answer it live for you. And then some of them will also type a response, but we want to give you that better explanation. So we will get to your questions, I promise. The road to adventure, like we love to call it, is our 10-mile dirt road into camp. Lost Valley is located in Warner Springs, far, far away from all of the things. And to get to our beautiful valley, you have to travel down a 10-mile dirt road. The road is passable by almost any vehicle. We have had Priuses come into camp. We've had Teslas come into camp. We've had very small and very low cars come into camp. We do recommend that you bring a vehicle that has a higher ground clearance. It's going to make your ride a little bit better. It's going to make your ride a little bit more enjoyable, but any car is going to work. The road will take you about 45 minutes to drive, as the speed limit is 15 miles an hour. That's not because we're trying to be really harsh. You actually do need to travel 15 miles an hour on the dirt road. There will be cross traffic coming towards you or other cars behind you. So please be cautious of your speed. It is a very narrow, small road that we need you to drive very carefully on. So please drive 15 miles an hour and plan 45 minutes to get from the pavement to inside of camp. We do not have any gas in camp, so please fill up in Temecula before you get to our dirt road and before you get into camp. Please fill up in Temecula. Troops are cooking on Wednesday night. Wednesday night is campsite cooking, and Wednesday night dinner is the only meal that you will be cooking in camp. All of the other meals we will cook for you, but on Wednesday, we give your troop that opportunity to work together, to earn some rank requirements, some advancement things, and to cook their own food in your campsite. We will provide everything that you need. We'll provide the food, the utensils, the charcoal, and everything else to make your meal. If you would like to bring additional equipment or seasonings or sauces or sides, you're welcome to do that, but you do not have to bring anything. We just like to give that option to you. Some troops really like their Cholula. So if you love Cholula, you should bring some, because I don't think we have any in camp. We might by then, but currently we don't. So bring some sauces if you would like. Otherwise, we will provide everything for you. There is no cell phone coverage in camp. Some people will tell you there's a little bit, but that's like if you're standing on one foot by a tree on a Tuesday and the cloud is in the right spot, you might like get that text message from 3 days ago, but there's no cell phone service in camp. We do have Wi-Fi. Your adults will get a Wi-Fi code that they can use on 2 devices, cell phone and laptop, or 2 cell phones if you're a business person, whatever works. If you are mailing mail to camp for your campers or staff, please send it now, or at least a week and a half or 2 before your week of camp. Some units will bring their own mail up with them and distribute it to their scouts throughout the day. You're welcome to do that. We don't have a special mail delivery ceremony at Lost Valley. The mail is available in the trading post to pick up by your unit leader, and then you can distribute it however you would like. Now it's time for question and answer. So Jacob and I are going to take turns answering your questions. We'll be here for as long as you need for as many questions, excuse me, as you have. And so you can put questions in the Q&A feature. We like questions. We thank you for questions. When you ask a question, other people may get answers they didn't know that they needed. So I'll start with the first one. First one is, do we need to do COVID checks prior to arriving at camp? Do we need to have the COVID form filled out to turn in? Available to you is from National, the pre-event screening checklist. That is a form that asks you and your scouts to answer questions about contact with other sick people or symptoms. We ask that you do that with your units ahead of time before coming into camp. We are not collecting and are not checking them in camp. This is something that we are asking you to do and for you to check. When you get into camp, our health officer or designee will ask your scout some follow-up questions as they review their med form with them and do a additional recheck. But that pre-event screening checklist is for you to use. If you as a troop want your scouts to actually fill them out and turn them into you, that's great. If you want to just ask them to your scouts before you leave to come to camp, that's also great. I'm going to take the next question too. Is there going to be an adult leader cook-off? Unfortunately, that is not something that is planned this summer. During IOLS training, the adults will cook some meal. Sometimes it's a dessert, sometimes it's a dinner. They will cook something, but there will not be a cook-off this summer. I'll let Jacob take a couple questions.
Awesome. So a following question is, do troop rosters need to be filled out and turned in when we check in on Sunday? Troop rosters do not necessarily need to be filled out when you check in on Sunday. When you enter camp, and we, as part of our check-in process, will do a medical check with our health safety officer designee, making sure that medical forms are in order and asking a few questions to each of your participants. They will give them a wristband and check them off as here. And using that, we will determine whether or not, determine who is in camp with your troop. So you do not necessarily need to turn in a roster. We will be ensuring that people who are supposed to be here are here and people who are not are not.
I will take the question about menu. I think it was asked a couple times. Can you please post the food menu on the summer camp site, and when will the menu be available? The menu will be available in approximately 40 minutes. As soon as we get off of this meeting, I will get that posted for you. I do apologize that it has taken us this long, but I promise that we have been making changes to our menu that benefit you. So we're working really closely with our food service staff and dietitians and our camp director and our people that bring us food into camp down this lovely 10-mile dirt road to make sure that we can provide meals that are going to work for you and your campers. So that meal has been adjusted a couple times, and that is why we have waited. It is now finished and will be posted for you in just a little bit today. So thank you for asking and thank you for waiting.
So next question I see on here is there just one form for ATV or two? So this year we just have one form for ATV. It's an ATV waiver, and that is available on our website in the Leader Links section of ssrov.org. I also see another one is there a firearms waiver for adults who would like to participate in shooting sports? So is the waiver only for scouts? My understanding is that all participants in shooting sports must fill out the waiver. But if you're an adult, you can do that while you're here. So.
Alrighty. Next question. I've had parents ask about the ABC form. Seemingly there is a statement made that the C form alternatives can be used. Can you confirm if this is correct or not? We do require the national BSA parts A, B1, B2, and C to be turned into camp. We do require it to be the current version. The current version is several years old, but if you were to try and turn in a version from 2005, you're going to be missing some of the important needed information. So yes, you do need the Boy Scout one, including the Part C. If your scout went to the doctor or another place to get a sports physical or a school physical and it was recent, oftentimes those places will take your new form and fill it out with that same information and sign it for you. If not, you will need to get the Boy Scout one signed. Thank you for that question. Do we need to bring our own socks for tie-dyeing during the evening programs? For the evening program tie-dye socks, tie-dye and socks will be provided to you. There is a small charge, and that charge covers the cost of tie-dye and socks.
Great, so I have a few questions I'm going to answer. I see one that is the COVID form on the website for all participants, adults and scouts, and will it be collected by camp staff? So the COVID screening form created by the national BSA is not going to be collected by camp staff, and it is a tool for troops to use on their end to determine whether or not they should be using their scouts or having their scouts come to camp. It is not a requirement. It is just a tool for them to use if they choose to. Now, another question I see is for the upcoming week, are both Grace and Irvine being used or just Grace? And then also pools in both or just one camp? So this summer, we are going to just be using Grace, the Grace side of camp. And that includes just using the Grace pool. And then I see another great question. Thank you, Jacob and Bijan. See you on Sunday. We're happy to see you this upcoming Sunday.
Alrighty, is there a final cost for summer camp t-shirts that we can purchase in the trading post, and will we have a variety of sizes? We do have camper shirts. They are available in the trading post. I will do my best to get you an answer in the next couple minutes while we are still here. I don't have a cost for you just yet, but I'm going to check with Tori, our camp director, and see if I can get you that answer. We do have a variety of sizes. I don't think we have huge sizes, but we do have small to at least 2X I'm not 100% sure about the 3 acts, but we do have a large quantity of camper shirts available in the trading post. Jacob answered several of these questions. Are camp t-shirts included in the fees, or we pay for at camp separately? Yes, you will pay for them separately at camp in the trading post, and I'm going to get you a good answer for the cost. My unit is from a different district. How long will the Black Bug information be? How long will it be available for me to download? Do you know if other councils will accept the Black Pug report? Most councils that we've interacted with will accept the report. You can print the blue cards after, so they're printed exactly as you would imagine a blue card would look. You could even put blue paper in your printer and print them on blue paper, and then you have blue cards. If you would like, you can generate a unit advancement summary, which lists all of the scouts and their advancement in a easier to read than blue card form. And you can also generate a file that works with a lot of the online advancement tracking that some units use. So Scout Book or Troop Tracker, you can download that whole file and upload the file into your advancement software, and it'll just put the pieces where they need to go in their place. But if you're not sure, you can check with your council, or if you want, you can bring us blue cards, but we have not had a problem with it in the past. Due to COVID, most people are accepting online pretty much everything.
Awesome.
Jacob, take a couple questions.
Yeah. So I see one. So the scouts wear the themed clothes during the day. So although it is completely optional, we would love to see scouts wearing theme day clothes. Our staff will be wearing theme day clothes. Typically how our staff does it is for the morning assembly, they will be wearing their theme day clothes, including breakfast. And then following breakfast, they will change into their proper activity uniform for program time and the rest of the day. And then a couple other questions here. Will you be collecting and or keeping any forms, or do we just bring one set of forms in our binder for you to view at check-in? So we do collect a set of your BSA medical forms, parts A, B, and C for each of your participants here in camp. Those stay with our health safety officer throughout the week. And that is because your scout is not always with the adult who has the medical forms, and it is not always a great plan to have the scout hold on to their own medical form. So we will collect them. So if we need them for any reason, we have them available, and the health safety officer will be keeping track of those. Another question I see is, are there any campsite requirements where we need to bring supplies, like building a gateway, etc.? So we do campsite inspections throughout the week. Our camp commissioner will be doing those in the mornings, and we'll typically have 2 commissioners every week handling that. The campsite requirements, although nothing is entirely required in that, the camp commissioner does look for things like campsite improvement. It does not necessarily have to be lodge poles and gateways, but that is absolutely an option for your troop if you have those supplies to bring and are able to transport them to camp.
Alrighty, is there a camp permission slip needed? There is not. We accept the BSA Part A as permission slip to participate in activities. If your scouts are participating in ATV or shooting sports, they need a waiver, a specific waiver for each of those, which are available on our website. So you do not need a camp permission slip, but you'll need one for shooting sports or ATVs. Mail. You're welcome to send mail to camp. The address, along with how you address it to your scout, is available in our leader's guide. So ssrlv.org. Under summer camp and leader links, you can grab the leader's guide from there, and the address is available for you there, along with how you should label it so it gets to the right week and the right scout. Somebody also asked if it's too late to send in mail for week 1. I would not recommend sending mail for week 1 unless it's a small letter. That would probably get here by the end of the week. But because our mailbox is at the end of the 10-mile dirt road, we only receive mail when people are coming in and out of camp, which does happen a couple times a week, but not every day. So if your mail arrives on Thursday, it may not get to your scout. I would encourage you to send it up with your unit leader as opposed to mailing it right now for week 1. Do you provide ice or should I leave my big orange cooler at home? We have ice available for you in the trading post. Every unit will get 2 10-pound bags of ice for free during their week at camp. If you would like to purchase additional ice at the trading post, you can for a very small fee. And those are 10-pound bags, but we'll give you 2 if you would like for whatever you want to use them for your ice chest in camp. Let's see.
Bijan, there are a couple I can grab.
Go ahead.
So question, should they bring Class A? Scouts should absolutely bring their Class A or field uniform. It's known as either one. We wear that uniform in the evening for our evening assembly and then into dinner. That's what our staff will be wearing, and we recommend that Scouts wear that as well. And then the next one, I believe, is a clarification, and they are asking if ABC forms will be collected and stored with, or that the ABC forms will be collected and stored with the health safety officer. Are they returned to the unit at the end of the week? Yes, they are. We will be returning your ABC forms to you, but we do recommend that you don't send us your only copy of an ABC form. I'd absolutely recommend making a copy, or at very least taking a picture of it, so that you have your copy and we have ours. And you can send us a copy of the ABC form. You do not need to send us the original form. Let's see. And
I will take one. If we have any last minute questions or issues prior to arriving at camp, is there a landline at camp to reach Bijan or Tori, and what is the phone number? Yes, there is. If you would like, you can call us. Because this is staff week, most of us are out and about and not quite by the phone. But if you leave a voicemail, the voicemail gets emailed to us and we can listen to it on our phones from wherever we are. The best way to get a hold of us is email, summercamp@ssrlv.org. But if you would like to call us and leave us a message and we can call you back, you're welcome to. And I'm going to read the phone number to you right now, and Jacob will put it in the chat. I'm sitting in front of it, so I'm going to read it because I don't have it memorized. But it is 760-892-2211. One more time, 760-892-2211. And you can leave us a voicemail and we'll get back with you as soon as we can. Are there gold, silver, bronze troop awards for camp inspection and other activities? There are awards for campsite inspection. I'm not entirely sure if they will be ranked gold, silver, bronze, but there will be awards based on the inspection report. Each campsite has a board that we're going to post some papers on. And one of those papers is your inspection form with several of the categories that the commissioner is looking for, as well as the ranking system for how they're graded. And those will be awarded at the end of the week during our stage show and carnival. There are a couple of questions in the chat at the beginning. I think some of these might be answered, but I don't want to miss them. So I'm going to go back real quick. Do we need to bring tents and cots? You do not. Each campsite has enough tents and cots for everyone in your unit coming. If your adults would like to bring their own tents, because sometimes you do, you're welcome to. If it's many of you, send us an email so we can check to make sure your campsite can accommodate several tents, but all campsites can accommodate 1 or 2 extra tents. And if you want to bring more than that, just send us an email and we'll check to make sure that works for you. Yes, somebody asked if they can stay after the meeting to discuss a campsite question. That is absolutely okay. If you would like, you can also call. I'm sitting right in front of the phone, so I'll answer that after this meeting, or you're welcome to stay and ask the question then. All right, our last question that has not been answered in Q&A is, we have not been to camp in several years. How are the trees doing in Grace? Shade coverage wise around campsites. So we have lots of trees in camp, but we have a lot less trees in camp over the last year or two because of a beetle that has been living in our trees and eating our trees. and making them unstable. So many of the trees around camp have been taken down for safety reasons. There are plenty of trees in camp, and you will have shade in various spots throughout camp. I just cannot guarantee that every campsite will have a lot of shade, but there is some shade in most campsites and lots of shade of various places in camp. Jacob can answer the last question.
Give me one moment here. Okay, so we are bringing both girls and boys. How far apart are they camping? So depending on the size of the units coming, and whether for both the boys and the girls combined, if it is possible to fit them in, we have some troop sites this year that are able to be easily divided into different youth protection groups, kind of sub-sites within the troop site. So depending on what specific size of participants you have with you, they may be adding, they may be sharing a site with divisions in it. And I believe Bijan has a couple more specifics on that.
If you have a unit that's a boy unit and a girl unit, and you want them to be together or you want them to be apart, just send us an email. If in your registration you already notated that, we've grouped several boy and girl units that are from the same place or together in the same campsite. We've also had some that say we would like our boy unit and girl unit to be separated. And so we have met your request, and you can just send us an email with that information that you would like. If you are in adjacent campsites, most of our campsites are pretty well spread out, but if you're in the same campsite, you're pretty close to each other. So hopefully that answers your question. If not, send us an email or give us a phone call, and we will get you a better, more specific answer to that. Have you staffed Camp Week 3, the week of July 10th, with a medic for the entire week? That is a great question. We are always accepting volunteers for our summer camp season. If you would like to volunteer, please send us an email, summercamp@ssrlv.org, and one of us will get back with you about the specifics of that. Is there a competition day at the end of summer camp? I think that you mean the end of your summer camp week, so Friday-ish. There is a very exciting and new and interesting camp activity at the end of the week for you and your scouts, and you will have to stay tuned for that information. But yes, there is a fun camp-wide activity available on Friday. Will there be a Scoutmaster competition also? Yes, there will. If you have been here previous years, the Scoutmaster competition will be similar. I'm not going to say it will be exactly the same or entirely different, but it will be similar to previous years' Scoutmaster competitions on Friday. If you have any other questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We're happy to answer your questions. You are very welcome for the information. For those of you that I said I would get you an answer about camp t-shirts, I believe that the cost is $15, but don't quote me on that. I was waiting for Tori to get back to me. And if you would like, please send us an email right now. Ask me, what's the cost of camp t-shirts? And as soon as I get that information, I will reply to your email and get you that answer. But I believe it's $15 per camper shirt available in the trading post during your week of camp. Will the menu be posted on the Lost Valley website? Yes, the menu will be posted just shortly after we complete this meeting. It will be on ssrlv.org under Kitchen Corner, and the menu will be available to you just a little bit. It'll be a PDF, so you can download it and you can share it with your units. And if you have any things that you need to add to your dietary restrictions, you can update your Black Pug report, or you can send us an email, And we very much look forward to seeing you on Sunday or whichever Sunday you will be joining us. If you have any questions, you can throw them there. If you would like to leave, you are free to leave. So we're going to start with the chat question. The first one, do we need to bring tents or will they be provided? We have tents. Each campsite has enough tents for all of the scouts and adults registered in Black Pug to come. So if your numbers change, please contact Nikki and send us an email at summer camp so we can make sure that you are in a good site for your changed numbers. When will the menu be ready to post? I'm going to let Tori answer that question.
I'm going to pull it up right now. It's been revised a couple of times, but this is our general camp menu. Tomorrow we have another meeting with our kitchen service just to confirm, but this is our menu. It says foil pack on Wednesday, but it does not a foil pack. So waffle French toast, sandwiches, orange chicken, lasagna, Italian, fried chicken, all of our campers' favorites are on here. And then lunch, we do have hot dogs coming into camp when they check in. So we'll get this posted hopefully tomorrow night after our final meeting with our food service team.
Yes, we want to make sure you have the most accurate version, and it's a little bit difficult to post one and then it changes and some people have already printed it. So very soon is the answer to that question. The next question, I've had a couple of scouts ask about climbing. Can they bring their own helmets? If so, what brand do you recommend? I will say that we have plenty of helmets for all of the scouts participating in climbing, merit badge, Cope and Borrego, and or open program. If your scouts have climbing helmets that they use and like, they are welcome to bring them. It is at the discretion of the climbing or Cope director if they were to allow those on their course. It's something that they can choose to inspect and allow if they would like. Sometimes they will not allow them because it's hard to verify the safety elements of used or not well marked equipment. Helmets are one of those things that generally they will allow after they've inspected, but like I said, it's up to their discretion for that. What brand? I don't know. My helmet's a Black Diamond helmet, but you can wear whatever brand of helmet you want, and that's cool too. I'm just going to keep going. How do we find out our campsite and check-in time for Sunday? If you are the unit registration contact, you can log into your scouting event or Black Pug account, and on the right side at the top, it will list your campsite. I have put all of those in a few days ago so that you can view them there. If you cannot find it, or you're not sure, send us an email, summercamp@ssrlb.org, and I'll respond to you and let you know where we have you assigned for campsites. Check-in times are coming very soon. It's on our list of things to do in the next day or so. Campsites have been finished, the numbers had been updated, and so now we're ready to start assigning check-in times, and we'll get this to you pretty quick. Wednesday, are troops cooking lunch as well, or only cooking dinner? Troops are only cooking their own dinner on Wednesdays. We're doing foil pack cooking for dinner. And if you'd like to bring extra things or sauces, some people like their Cholula, you can bring that. But otherwise, we will provide all of the things that you need to campsite cook for dinner on Wednesday. What do the scouts need for overnighter for the astronomy merit badge? I'm going to let Tori take that one.
So for the astronomy merit badge, they go out and they do sleep at the observatory. So they should bring their sleeping bags. And if they would like a tarp, they can bring a tarp. We've had plenty of kids just lay on down on the dirt. The staff are out there too. We clear the sagebrush around it, and they sleep under the stars. If they like to sit and watch the stars, they can bring up a camp chair. But the biggest thing is making sure they have their sleeping bag and so that they're ready to sleep out under the stars. It is a 3-hour observation that they have to do and then they have to also draw the moon phases multiple times in the night. So they'll start by looking through the telescope, and then they'll sleep for a little bit, and then they wake up and do another look through the telescope as well as drawing the moon phases, and then go back to sleep. And then in the morning, they do another look, and then they are sent off to Polar Bear if they want to go to Polar Bear, or they can go to their campsite.
All right, we had a question about Black Pug's reservation contact. If you would like to change that or get additional adults access to that, you can email outdoor@ocbsa.org, and Nikki or one of our reservation specialists will get back to you on that. That's something we let them help you with. So that was all the chat questions. Let's move over to the Q&A questions, and feel free to add more Q&A questions as we go through. We will be here as long as you have questions. Are helmets provided for ATV merit badge, or should we bring our own? One quick clarification, our ATV program is not a merit badge per se. Your scouts will get a certificate from the ATV Safety Institute, and we have our own helmets, and we would like you to use our helmets for ATV. Do we need to cook breakfast and lunch on Wednesdays, or dinner is just dinner? I did answer that one. So you are only cooking dinner on Wednesday. We will cook dinner for you Wednesday morning and lunch. That one Tori answered also. How many copies of the medical form should we bring? We only need one copy. If you would like to maintain your own copy throughout the week, you can bring a second one. Our health officer or designee will collect those from you. So we will hold them and store them throughout the week. So if your troop likes to keep a copy of them with you, you can bring a second copy, but we only need one to hold on to. We also do not accept them ahead of time. We've had that question sometimes. Hey, can I email these to you or upload them somewhere? Paper copies is the only way that we accept med forms. And as a reminder, your med forms need to have Part C, which is the physician or other healthcare practitioner's signature on them. And if it does not, we will unfortunately have to ask you to go get that before you continue our stay with us. And that's a long process. So as a reminder, please check your Part Cs for both scouts and adults, and any adults that will be joining us, even splitting weeks. How many copies of the shooting, sports, and ATV waivers do we need to bring? ATV waivers, you only need one copy. We're going to turn that into our ATV director, and he's going to check that your scouts have them, and they will probably come to me after that. They do not need to take them or have copies of them anywhere else. Shooting sports, we recommend about 2 copies. You can have more than 2 copies, but 2 copies is a good number. One may get turned in, and the other one, if it travels with the scout, that is very helpful. So 2 copies. You do not, the question was, I want you to confirm that we will need to bring some patrol boxes for Wednesday cooking. You do not need to bring patrol boxes for Wednesday night cooking. You are welcome to bring utensils. It is foil pack cooking, so no utensils are required. We will give you eating utensils, but the cooking is simple. You put all of the ingredients in foil, you wrap it up nice and tight, and it goes on the charcoal, which we will also provide for you. If you want to bring other things, you can, but you do not need to bring anything for Wednesday night cooking. And our last question, which I'm going to let Tori answer. How far is the astronomy hike, and is our gear driven into the site?
So the astronomy overnight location is the observatory. So if you're looking at the map, it's across from the shotgun range. It is not very far. The scouts will meet at the nature center with their gear. Typically they bring a backpack and then carry their sleeping bag. It's not very far up to the site. So they'll meet and then walk as a class up to the observatory with their staff member.
All right, so sometimes we do try and type the answer to our questions, but there's only Tori and I right now. So if you missed something, please re-ask it. I'm happy to re-answer your question. I'm just not exactly sure what question you missed the answer to. So if you want to re-ask us questions, if it was the patrol box cooking for Wednesday night, you do not need to bring any cooking equipment. We will provide all of that for you. If you want to bring something, you can. The menu did show that we were cooking for all, that there were campsite foil cooking for all of them Wednesday. That's because that's not quite our final menu yet. As a clarification, Wednesday breakfast and Wednesday lunch will be provided to you by our camp cook team and staff. You are only responsible for cooking Wednesday dinner. Charcoal will be delivered to your campsite, and food will be provided for you for pickup, and we'll explain how that works when you get into camp.
Mhm.
Can we drive right up to our campsite and drop off stuff? Yes, you may. We ask that you follow the speed limit in camp, which is 5 miles an hour. There are scouts present. Our roads are small and there's a lot going on. So we need you to drive very, very slow. There are sections of your campsite that you can pull up to. Some of the campsites have a longer driveway and some of them have a very short driveway, or you'll need to park right across, like at the trading post. But yes, you can drive to your campsite. If you have trailers, most of the campsites can accommodate trailers and you can leave your trailer in your campsite for the week, but your car will be moved to a parking spot for storage for the week. Great questions. All of these questions are fantastic. They are relevant, and you are helping other people by asking these questions because they are getting answers that they didn't even know that they needed. Any other questions we are happy to answer now. If you forget, want to email us or think of it later, summercamp@ssrlv.org.
And if you don't feel like emailing us and joining us again, you are more than welcome to come back on Thursday night. It will be the same material and information we are going over, but we will be here live to answer any questions that you might have. So we have a question in the chat. If leaders want to bring their own tents, is there enough room in camp for all of them? How do we know how many will fit? Typically, yes. Kelly, if you want to send us a specific email with the campsite that you are assigned to, or let us know your troop number, we can look at that and give you a better guesstimate of how much space there is. Typically, there's plenty of space for leaders to bring their own tents. We have leaders usually every week that do that just because they like their own tents, and we can make sure we can accommodate that. Okay, so we have a question on patrol boxes. You do not have to bring your patrol boxes. The equipment for Wednesday night, the foil, the charcoal, making sure it gets started, the cutting boards, the knives are provided to you. Now, if you want to bring supplemental things from your patrol box, that is okay. Some people, as Bichon was saying, like Cholula, Tapatio, Sriracha, all that kind of good stuff. You're more than welcome to bring that, but it is not a requirement. We do have the utensils, the seasonings, and the food for you on Wednesday nights.
If you're bringing a really big troop or you like to let everybody help, you can bring some extra cutting boards and knives. That's one of the things that people like to bring sometimes. We will provide you a couple, but if you have a big troop, more cutting boards will make your meal go faster. Campsite cooking foil packs will be hamburger foil packs. You will get a hamburger patty, some potato, some carrots, some onion, seasoning, and probably a little butter chip that you can put in there. All of that gets wrapped in the foil and placed in the fire, and then removed from the fire and eaten right out of the foil pack to reduce waste and eliminate the need for plates.
If you have more questions, please go ahead and put them in the Q&A section of the Zoom. And if you don't have any more questions, we will see you soon, or we'll see you on Thursday. This once it's recorded, both sessions, then we will post this on the web. Okay, we did get a question for those that are vegan. Is the flow pack already modified? Yeah, so they'll get a different patty that's separate. So they can still do the veggies that go into it, but the base patty will be different. It'll be vegan.
The question about hike, the astronomy overnighter is not really a hike. The scouts will walk to the observatory, which is right next to Shotgun and the end of High Cope. I could not give you a distance in miles, but from the rifle range, say, it will take about 6 to 8 minutes. From the dining hall, it may take 15-ish minutes to walk there. That will depend where they're coming from. Because it's an overnighter, we will not be at the dining hall. So it's a short hike, but not a real hike, just a short walk through camp to get to the observatory.
All right, my friends, if that is the last of our questions, thank you for joining us tonight on our Sunday, June Down the Hill meeting. We will be back here on Thursday if you would like to join us again. If not, and you have more questions, please email summercamp@ssrlv.org. Once again, that is summercamp@ssrlv.org. The management team all checks that and we'll be sure to get back to you with answers. We are in staff development this week and we're in director's week last week. So if you have not seen a response yet, we are getting there. We've been prepping and making sure we're ready for camp. So we'll make sure to go through those again. Once again, thank you for joining us and we will see you at camp soon.